we have got Dusk Cult in the studio. We're going to start off with one of the singles, and then we're going to chat to them after that. This is Spirit.
Excellent.
And it's off, what's the album called?
Folklore Discipline.
I didn't turn it on. Folklore Discipline. Too slow. Anyway, here's Spirit. Enjoy.
In the beginning was the
can't believe I asked you what the album's called when there's like a copy right in front of me. We've got Dusk Cult in the studio. Say hello to everyone out.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Excellent. You're in to talk about your third album now.
That's right, yep.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, so Folklore Discipline comes out this coming Saturday.
Excellent.
It'll be available everywhere you find music, Spotify, all the rest of it, and you can buy a physical CD through our Bandcamp.
Awesome.
Excellent. And we're going to play one track that isn't a single in between, so people can check that out. But the first one we played, Spirit, is one of the singles, and I'm going to play the other single at the end. So
Sounds good.
Yeah,
you can check those out if they haven't already. So you started, was it 2020 you started this band?
2021 the first album came out, so
Yeah.
2020 was when we first started putting it together seriously, I suppose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
So it's been like kind of a, you've moved as the decades changed almost. I feel like I felt the first album really suited the times, and this new album, the second album, was great. It was a step up, but this is even another bigger step up. Are you spending more time on the project, or is it just sort of a natural progression?
More time. When we did the first album, before we'd recorded, we only had the concept. I always imagined it to be a little bit more basic, a bit more necro, more traditional black metal, and so I wrote the songs with that in mind. So, often just one guitar riff playing, maybe one melody, something like that. Our vocals at the time were a little bit more straightforward as well. Elliot would do one song, I'd do another song, and occasionally there'd be a bit of crossover. With the third album, because the production on the first two albums was so good comparative to what I was expecting, I sort of felt it needs to be, there needs to be more happening. There's more melodic layers, for instance, with the guitars, a lot more kind of a busier musical palette, I suppose. And that's it took a bit more time to do, but still retaining the structures and the focus that we've always sort of had.
And that's just with the two of you as well, correct?
Yeah, that's
right,
So you're
yeah.
creating all of that together. Guitar, bass, keys and vocals for Ben, and drum and vocals for yourself.
Yeah, and in the studio this time, because Elliot does the drums, we both do the vocals. Doing that sort of third guitar melody at times, I was sitting there going, I've made this so complicated for what I was trying to sort of do in the first place. When I'm also doing the bass and the keys, where there are keys. There were moments when I thought, gee, this is too complicated. And obviously it's not complicated. You listen to it and it's not progressive or anything by any measure, but
they're pretty cohesive, yeah.
there is a fair bit going on and parts coming in, but it's well worth it because we're really pleased with the result.
Excellent, because you're both not. It's not like in 2021 you release your first ever album. You both have.
We had like a background, like Ben came from Rain Shadow. He'd put out, 3 albums and an EP under that project, and then I'd worked with other bands like Okera, and I play in Bellacore as well. So yeah, it wasn't our first rodeo. Like we've done albums before. We've been in the studio. We've done songwriting. We sort of knew what we were doing, but it was sort of new territory for both of us doing this black metal stuff, which we both wanted to do for a long time. The project's just kind of evolved over the next couple of albums, and like Ben said, now we've got these extra guitar layers, and we're learning how to get our vocals to bounce off each other better, and we're writing with that in mind. Like we'll write stuff and we'll think, I can do this part, you can do that part, and it's all just come pretty naturally, I think.
And putting it together at Elliot's place when we do the demos is, most of the fun, really, because it's just complete creativity between the two of us, and we're just, all right, we'll try this, we'll try that. Go in with a basic structure, but then really build it in the room together. And
absolutely.
That's why it's really, really a combined thing. And it's always amazing to find out where the track ends up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think, particularly with this album, is where you push yourself beyond, like what was the bit of this album that you really feel was different from what you've done with both your experience?
I suppose the theme of the album moved away from the first couple of albums. We wanted to move away from sort of just, because the first couple of albums it was heavily about, you know, the night sky worship and all that sort of stuff. With this one, we wanted to take a closer look at the folklore and some themes, different themes, and sort of more narrative-based songs lyrically, which was kind of, that was a little bit of a challenge, but we think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, the first two albums were focused on the concept of the night sky and the stars, and interweaving this idea of this ongoing cult that worships the night sky. And we use that as a metaphor for what's going on in today's age, you know, looking away from the self-obsessed social media thing and realising that worshipping outside of that is a positive thing. Probably musically, one of the biggest departures, I think, our final song, I've been listening to it a lot lately, our final song called Enduring Purpose. It's got this big sort of midsection of atmosphere, and then it builds up into this massive epic ending. And we haven't really got anything like that on the other albums. We've got epic stuff here and there, but I remember putting this together, deliberately going all out to end the album with this massive finale. And listening to it now, I'm still like, wow, we actually pulled it off. So,
yeah,
I guess if you want to hear it, listen to the album when it comes out on the 9th. But
nice.
We did a few different things, a little bit more ambitious, perhaps.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Well, we might cut to a track from the album, and then we'll come back.
Sounds good.
Not over it yet? You're going to stay in?
No,
getting
not
started.
Yep.
Excellent.
Great.
Well, this is Hemlock from Folklore Discipline by Dusk Cult. Enjoy. Excellent. Well, while we're off mic, you discussed the story behind that track, Hemlock, which is really interesting. Do you want to?
Yeah, so that was a bit of an experimental song. It's based around the one chord with the melody being played around it, if you like. And I deliberately wanted a song that was a little bit more of a, not an interlude, but something that's a bit more straightforward, maybe a little bit more shadowy, mysterious. So it doesn't have a verse and then a chorus and then a bridge. You know, it's not in that pop rock structure like a couple of the other songs are. This is just straightforward, ahead. And it's called Hemlock because it's loosely about the Athenian philosopher Socrates and how he was executed by being forced to consume hemlock. And obviously the world knows Socrates as this, amazing philosopher, and we agree that he is. But he was accused of misleading the youth, mocking the gods, and basically he was considered anti-Athenian, which is why they executed him. And we sort of ran with that idea that the cult is accusing him of those things too. So it's a bit of an inversion of the traditional worship of Socrates. I think we're just trying to play around with that concept.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea for a song too. But I like that song. Stood out. Now, the rest of the album, we'll try and fit some more in on other Burning Bitumen shows, but we're going to finish on the Midsummer Rites, which is the other single.
Yep.
Is it hard choosing the singles you're going to release off an album when you've spent a lot of time on it?
The first single, Spirit, which was played at the top of the show, that was always going to be the first single. The second one, we tossed up a couple of different ideas and ended up choosing Midsummer Rites because it's a very different style of song from Spirit. It's a lot, I guess, happier in the musicality. It's a lot different lyrically. And we didn't want to sort of have two sort of straight black metal songs to preface the album because there's a lot of different stuff that we explore on the album. So we thought, Midsummer Rites, different song, bit of a contrast, might reel in some different listeners who might not enjoy the first song so much. But yeah, it is a bit of a challenge. We had a lot of people pushing us to have the third track off the album, Verbrocht, as the second single. But we chose a different path, I suppose. So for those people who do get the album when it comes out, that'll be a nice surprise for them when they hear it.
Yeah, cool. That's good. It's always good to have a bit of a surprise. I've listened to it, so I know what it sounds like.
Don't spoil it.
I'm going to go straight through, I think, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, now you've put this out, are you still writing material? Or are you like, this is it until we've finished the cycle?
Do you need a break?
I literally haven't touched the guitar since we finished recording this album.
Cool.
So when was that? It's a few months ago now.
Yeah, back in March. Yeah. We're not stopping. Like, there's going to be new stuff coming out. Hopefully sooner rather than later. As for new songwriting, it hasn't really started yet.
Excellent.
I guess we'll wait till the dust settles on this one, and then we'll, get back into my place and start demoing new material.
Yeah, it could be a surprise around the corner. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, that's excellent. Now the cover artwork, did you do that, or did you get someone else to do that?
No, so that's a classical vanitas by a Dutch artist, Evert Collier. We feel like it sort of sums up a lot of the ideas on the album and fits the music and the stories behind the album. And the whole booklet's sort of littered with different sort of classical images. And, going into it, we wanted to have, similar to Night Sky Revelations, we liked the idea of having like a striking image that kind of fits the idea behind every song. So, if you have a look through the booklet, there's a lot of different images, and they all sort of tie into the different stories on the album. We felt that was probably the strongest image we have. So
Excellent. Now, you've written most of these tracks, as you said, are about different sort of folklore
Classical
stories,
themes.
classical themes. What did you learn writing these songs? Is there anything you went, oh, I didn't know that?
The album, the the lyrical approach of the album is a broadening out of the mythos that we started the band with, the idea of this cult of the dusk. And what are they doing? You know, so the first album was like, well, what are they on about? They're about star worship and, you know, secret meetings and that sort of stuff. This is the album where we look at sort of some medieval themes, like Midsummer Rites, for instance.
Yeah.
We've come up with the idea that at this particular age of the cult in medieval times, they're waiting for winter and they're, you know, rejecting the summer as part of what we do. You know, we've got a song called The Enemy's Sun. You know, we don't like hot summers in Australia. And
no, we really don't. It's the worst.
And the cult turns us back on that. So, I think we just broadened the mythos. I don't know. What did you learn, Elliot?
I just learned a lot about myself, you know, writing these lyrics. No. Look, there wasn't, it wasn't so much academic research into different things.
Yeah.
It was more just sort of, just coming up with interesting stories, like Ben said, about the cult throughout different times in history and, you know, what one particular person was doing and how they were perceived. And there's a lot of different stories on the album about that. It was a challenging experience to try and, you know, come up with these stories, but at the end of the day,
you knew them.
Yeah, we feel like they turned out pretty well.
And you tied them all together.
Yeah, and the sort of like if you listen to the album from beginning to end and you read along with the lyrics and you follow along with the stories, it's not a concept album, but there's definitely a theme that sort of goes throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, well, as a whole, you're kind of a concept band, really. So
yeah, you could say that. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the title. Folklore Discipline is about that too. That you know, you've got to be disciplined and focused in maintaining the values of this cult or whatever values you hold in life as well. And again, it's a reflection on what I consider to be fairly shallow, flippant value sets that you experience via the media and things like that. Whereas Folklore Discipline is being a little bit more determined to focus on, you know, who you are and what's important, and that's expressed through the lyrics of this cult, this ongoing cult.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming in and having a chat. This album is excellent. I think everyone out there should go and have a listen on Saturday and go and get one.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
Very interesting.
Thanks for the
guys.
support.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's get into Midsummer Rites. And thanks so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.